interesting story that I've told many times, and I think it's still interesting, because, given that out of sequence thing. We never had any training in that either, how to sustain the arc of a character through disconnected and out of sequence work that you have to do in a film, especially a low budget film like Blood Simple. So can I presume that most people here have seen it? So you know what I'm talking about? Okay. So the whole last sequence from where she thinks Marty is coming to get her. Through the whole kind of, she thinks Marty's alive and coming to kill her. I come to work. I'm having my cigarette, my cup of coffee. It's 9. Joel comes over and says, we're going to be shooting the middle of the sequence where you go into the bathroom after you've seen Ray shot through the window. You think that he's coming up the stairs. You go into the bathroom, and then eventually we're going to shoot you, climbing out the window. So I'm thinking, okay, great, yeah. Fuck. She's really hysterical. She's got to be really hysterical. And take my coffee, okay. So what do I have to do? And I remembered that play that I've been rehearsing in the last year at drama school. I think it was Lynn Seiferd's Coyote Ugly. Sure. Yeah. And the director, who I don't know who was directing at the time, but wanted me to be at a certain hysterical pitch at one rehearsal. Oh my God, that was me. I don't remember. No, it was a woman. It was a woman, the director. But she got Basaraba, another actor in it who's quite large, to hold me from behind. And she said, "Don't let her go." And then she said, "Fran, fight to get out of his arms, and don't let her go until I believe she's at the place that she needs to be to start this scene." And I remembered that it pissed me off so bad, and I did become hysterical. That fucking let me act, you let me go. And it got me someplace. So I said, I looked around the set. I saw the strongest guy, who was Tom, this guy Tom, who was also the oldest man on the set. I think he was 35. And I went up to him and I said, look, could you hold me from behind until Joel says action? I know it's going to be weird. I'm going to struggle to get away, but don't let me go until he says action. And he did. He went, yes, ma'am. It was very nice. And he didn't ask me any other question. He just held me. And everybody, I remember everybody was like, okay. And they never made a movie. Joel and Ethan never made a movie. They didn't know, but they thought, oh, this is what an actor does. Actually, and then I thought, then I knew I had to, then they said we'd be shooting this all day. All day. All day. In my mind, how do I do that? So I just crawled under a table with a box of Kleenex. Well, actually, I didn't take the Kleenex. The hair and makeup person went like this under the table, and I stayed under there all day. Joel would crawl down on the table and say, okay, the next thing we're doing, it's only on your hand, so you really don't have to be hysterical. If you want to be, that's okay. We've been together for 29 years. I'm married.
Was it a one-camera shoot?
It was a one-camera shoot, yes. With Barry Sonnenfeld, who's now gone on to great acclaim. I didn't have an accent.
No, I know.
Yeah, just had it. In that one, it was hair. Although, yeah, it was definitely the hair. We had a wig made. She was an Italian-American woman, and so we wanted to go dark. While I was playing. The man whose brother I was playing was an African-American. No, he was an Italian-American. And he had dark hair, and so I had a dark wig made, and then because of it was a black and white film, when we got to the camera test, it just looked like I had a large animal sitting on my head. So then we decided to go with my real hair, which at the time was bleached blonde, and that's what we did. And so she became a blonde femme fatale rather than a brunette femme fatale. What was interesting about the filming of that is that it was actually shot in color and then transferred to black and white later, which was a choice by the DP and Joel and Ethan to make the black and whites even richer, because at the time black and white film hadn't been used for so long. It wasn't really, you could get a lot more depth and by using color and then desaturating it later. So that's how they did that. So everybody on the set was walking around with these black and white graded color charts from white to black, all through all colors of gray. And people would walk around and put it up to your face, put it to new clothes, put it to things. But it was a beautiful film. I think it's a gorgeous black and white film. And one of the reasons they wanted to do it was because they wanted to do a black and white film and be able to tell a story that way, which I think it's very different. I think what became iconic about the character and what I'm the most proud of about that character is that she was a pregnant woman doing her job, and then she just ended up being a person doing her job. And that's what I love about it. And I think that that's what kind of became, okay, so that's what I believe about that. It was very complicated, the whole playing a pregnant woman at that time for me, because I had been attempting to get pregnant for about 3 years before that. So I think that if I had gotten a script unsolicited from someone else to play a pregnant character, I would have said, no, thank you very much, I think I'll wait. But I didn't think about it until I got on the set and was at lunch one day in my little pregnant outfit, and people were going, oh, eating for two now, and blah, 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 and then all the pregnant jokes were coming out, and it's like, fuck me. And wasn't really sure if I wanted to go ahead with it. Luckily, I was working with the father of my child in more ways than one. And we knew that in 2 months after that, we knew that we were going to become parents of our son, who is now 16, who we met 2 months after we finished the film. And we started our family, and almost everybody on the film knew we were starting our family. His godmother was the costume designer. At the end of the film, when Norm says to Margie, 2 more months, Marge, 2 more months, everybody on the scene was, sobbing, because we all knew that in 2 more months we were going to meet Pedro. So there's a real, when I call it our family movie, it really is our family movie. We weren't pregnant, but we were expecting, and that had a lot to do, what I believe, Joel and Ethan are terrified of sentiment. Not terrified, that's not fair. They don't use sentiment. They refuse to use sentiment. No, they refuse to be sentimental. They use sentiment like, they're great with sentiment and have become even better. Therefore, the success of True Grit. I think it's truly the best use of sentiment in film right now. Sentimental, no. That's why it worked. I think that's why, when people, little old ladies come up to me on the street and say, I just love that movie. I love Fargo. It's my favorite movie. And I go, do you remember the body count? Remember how many people die of horrible memes in that film? Yeah, I don't care. I just love it. It's great. Because what you really end with, regardless, is this feeling of life expectancy. And good hope and truth and future, even though it's about a lot of stupid people that do very stupid things.
You didn't tell the story. It's about
my breast exploded.
Yeah.
I wore very, very early on. I was given, and this we can tie this back into Noir, because I believe Noir has a lot of large-breasted women. And we'll make that a part, since we're supposed to be talking about Noir. I got my first pair of prosthetic breasts for a race in Arizona, and I've used them on and off ever since. They're a really great tool. Like a nose or a wig or, anything else. Prosthetic breasts are great. And I used them for Marge, and they froze and burst one night, and not on me, but they burst in the makeup and hair trailer. We came back to burst breasts because of the freezing cold. So that just, anybody interested in implants, think about it. Don't go to a very cold.
I don't know what time we're on. Liz, are you around?
I am around.
Okay.
See, I told you I could talk, Liz.
step back for a second and talking about, I mean, one of the reasons why I think that you're an inspiration to actors